An analyst says it's likely there will be an increase in the two local power companies' basic electricity charges next year. And researchers estimate the number of hot nights in Hong Kong will increase by 50% over the next 2 decades. Hello and welcome to TVB News. Israel, Hamas, and the United States are hoping for an extension of the 4-day truce after the third group of hostages and prisoners were exchanged on Sunday. With one more day of the 4-day truce remaining, the parties appear keen to continue the peace, which would mean Hamas releasing 10 hostages for each day of any extension. Hamas captured around 240 hostages during its attack on Israel on October 7th that resulted in around 1,200 deaths. Israel responded with a bombing campaign on Hamas-ruled Gaza, killing almost 14,000 people. Nazvi Karim has more.
This is outside the Offa prison in the occupied West Bank, which was holding Palestinian prisoners about to be released. Celebrations on the streets of Ramallah as the latest group of 39 freed Palestinians brings the total to 117 in 3 days. Nasrallah al-Awar was greeted by his family members after returning home. He said Israeli prison guards starved him and other inmates, some as young as 11 and 12. Among those released by Hamas was this girl, 4-year-old Abigail Edan, a dual Israeli-US citizen and the third hostage with American nationality to be freed. Abigail's parents were killed during Hamas's attack on October 7th, with her father reportedly gunned down while carrying her. Her grandfather, Carmel Edan, told Reuters he simply could not believe she had been returned. He thanked US President Joe Biden for his help in freeing Abigail.
2 days ago, one of our fellow Americans, a little girl named Abigail, who turned 4 years old, she spent her birthday, and at least 50 days before that, held hostage by Hamas. Today, she's free, and Jill and I, together with so many Americans, are praying for the fact that she is going to be all right.
With Palestinians in Gaza trying to rebuild their lives, Biden said he hopes the ceasefire can be extended beyond the agreed 4 days.
That's my goal. That's our goal, to keep this pause going beyond tomorrow so that we can continue to see more hostages come out and surge more humanitarian relief into those who are in need in Gaza.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Sunday went inside Gaza wearing full battle gear to meet commanders and troops. He told the soldiers nothing will stop Israel from reaching its 3 goals: eliminate Hamas, return all the hostages, and ensure Gaza does not return to be a threat to Israel. Meanwhile, the Israel military released a video showing humanitarian aid trucks bound for Gaza at the Nitzana crossing between Israel and Egypt. It said 200 trucks would cross after passing inspection, and they hope for a dramatic increase in aid over the coming days. Nazvi Karim, TVB News.
Of these 17 hostages released by Hamas on Sunday, 4 were foreigners, 1 Russian and 3 Thai nationals. The 4 non-Israelis were seen in a Red Cross vehicle passing through the Rafah crossing. Hamas said it released a Russian hostage, quote, in response to the efforts of Russian President Vladimir Putin. Putin has been largely sympathetic to the plight of Palestinians even before October 7th. The 3 Thai nationals were undergoing health checks at a medical center in Israel. Their release brought the total number of Thai hostages freed by Hamas to 17, Thailand's foreign ministry said. 15 Thais remain in captivity. A forecast of heavy rain is the latest setback to a rescue mission in India to extricate 41 construction workers who have been trapped in a collapsed tunnel for 2 weeks. Gray clouds hovered over the hillside in Uttarakhand with storms, heavy rain, and hail expected. Rescuers say they will work through whatever is thrown at them. Over the past few days, there was a further delay when the drill being used to help dig them out broke. They were trying to create a horizontal tunnel for the men to escape. Now they are digging vertically again. A tented village has been set up around the site as rescuers work shifts. Medics are on hand for the moment the workers reach the surface. Cooks have been producing flatbreads for those trapped. People in the tunnel are supplied with oxygen and food through a small pipe. Executives of the city's two power companies, Hong Kong Electric and CLP Power, will appear at the Legislative Council tomorrow to unveil their plans for tariff adjustments next year. An expert says there will likely be a rise in basic electricity charges. Memo Sangai reports.
Residents may have to pay more for their electricity next year. The residential tariff is made up of two parts, basic energy charge and a fuel cost adjustment. While CLP Power has maintained its basic charge at 93.7 cents per unit for the past 2 years, Hong Kong Electric increased its charge to 114.5 cents per unit early this year. Starting from next month, CLP Power's fuel charges will be adjusted to 49.4 cents per unit, and Hong Kong Electric's fuel charges will be 46.3 cents per unit. This means the net rate of each electricity unit for CLP Power next month will be 143.1 cents and 160.8 for Hong Kong Electric. William Yu, a former member of the government's Energy Advisory Committee, said it's likely there will be an increase in the basic electricity charge. He explained the adjustment is due to a series of factors, including further investment of the two power companies in infrastructure machinery. Lawmaker Elizabeth Court hopes the two power companies will consider the economic situation the public is facing when they adjust the electricity charges. Meanwhile, speaking to the press a day before its presentation at LegCo, CLP Power announced several community support programs to help families in need. The company will offer $1,000 in electricity subsidy to 20,000 subdivided flat households. Hong Kong Electric earlier also announced a series of supportive measures, such as subsidizing welfare organizations and schools to install solar power systems. Mimus 9, TVB News.
A joint effort by 3 local universities researching extreme weather conditions caused by climate change estimated the number of hot nights will increase by 50% over the next 2 decades. The researchers added that Hong Kong may experience another severe rainstorm in just over a decade. Timothy Lee reports.
Hong Kong was hit with one of the most powerful rainstorms in its history back in September, with several areas across Hong Kong affected by severe flooding and landslides. In addition to the increased bouts of super typhoons, experts say the city may face more extreme weather conditions in the future. To find out more about weather conditions in the city, a joint research conducted by the Chinese University of Hong Kong, and the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology used computers to analyze the observatory's weather forecasts and patterns between 2001 and 2020. Their findings indicated extreme rainfall will occur between 2040 and 2049, with rainfall reaching a maximum of over 230 millimeters per hour.
全球嗰個暖化
Professor Jimmy Fung from HKUST School of Science said the increased rainfall is caused by global warming, which has led to heavier concentrations of water in the atmosphere. Summer temperatures in the SAR have also increased in recent years, with the city recording 25 hot nights last July, as temperatures measured above 28 degrees even during nighttime. The researchers said by 2040, hot nights will increase by 50%, with places such as Sha Tin, Tuen Mun, and Kowloon being some of the most affected areas.
問題就係18區每區一個。
Professor Edward Ng from CUHK School of Architecture urged the government to improve the city's heat shelters to assist residents. He added such facilities should include more amenities and offer activities to attract residents. Timothy Lee, TVB News.
Still ahead, New Zealand's new Prime Minister takes office. Locally, a 1.4% rise year-on-year in exports last month. And the Sha Tau Kok frontier area will be further opened up to visitors. Welcome back to TVB News. New Zealand's new government, led by incoming Prime Minister Christopher Luxon, has been sworn in at a ceremony in Wellington. It follows coalition talks that allowed 3 parties to build an alliance and Luxon to lead the country. David Garrett reports.
Christopher Luxon looked proud as he led New Zealand's new government through the pomp and ceremony. Luxon is following in the footsteps of Chris Hipkins, who left the top job after 10 months. Election defeat means Hipkins will be opposition leader moving forward. New PM Luxon is a former aviation boss. His centre-right National Party did a deal with two smaller parties in long-running coalition talks. The 53-year-old sat down with the Governor-General Cindy Kiro to be sworn in.
That gives effect to your appointment as Prime Minister. Congratulations, Mr. Luxon.
I, Christopher Mark Luxon, swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law, so help me God.
Luxon has assembled his ministers. He had to install two deputies to clinch the coalition deal. One of his most controversial policies is lifting a ban on oil and gas exploration.
I think we have a ministry of a strong, productive, unified team that actually will deliver for all New Zealanders. And I know that each and every one of our ministers here take their duties and their responsibilities incredibly seriously to make sure that they're fulfilling their duty as advisors to you as the Governor-General in the coming term.
The coalition promises tax cuts, more police and a cull of government red tape. The new regime also plans to repeal tobacco restrictions. Luxon says there's no need to mandate lower nicotine cigarettes, with sales falling. Many governments globally, including Hong Kong, are proposing the opposite, getting even tougher on smokers. Luxon will hold his first cabinet meeting on Tuesday, where he will outline his plans for the new New Zealand. David Garrett, TVB News.
Japan is considering changing the duty-free tax waiver process for tourists. The government fears some are taking advantage of the process. Currently, tourism consumption tax is deducted at the point of sale at designated duty-free stores. A new proposal earmarked for 2025 would mean travelers pay the full price at the counter and would then be refunded at the airport as they leave. It is thought some tourists abuse the system by reselling items before departing. The tax-free scheme is big business in Japan. Spending by foreign tourists pushed up duty-free sales to a record high in October. The Department Store Association said total sales came in at 38 billion yen, or just under 2 billion Hong Kong dollars. Meanwhile, starting from January 1st, South Korea is set to double the maximum limit of purchases eligible for an immediate tax refund for foreign tourists to 5 million won, or around 6,000 Hong Kong dollars. The move is to bolster the tourism industry by attracting more visitors to shop. Currently, South Korea provides on-the-spot tax refunds for individual purchases of up to 500,000 won at designated stores. The maximum is capped at 2.5 million won. The Finance Ministry said starting next year, the maximum per payment amount for tax refunds will be raised to 1 million won and the total to 5 million won. In the first 6 months of this year, the number of overseas visitors to South Korea surged more than fivefold from last year to 4.4 million. Hong Kong's exports last month rose by 1.4% year-on-year to about $380 billion after more than 10 months of decline. That's after more than 10 months of decline in the value of exports. Meanwhile, the value of imports in October rose by 2.6% year-on-year to about $405 billion. For October, total exports to Asia grew by 5.2%, with particularly strong growth for the Indian and Vietnamese markets. A government spokesman said, while the value of merchandise exports showed a modest increase in October 2023, overall export performance largely remained weak. Looking ahead, the difficult external environment amid heightened geopolitical tensions and tight financial conditions will continue to weigh on Hong Kong's export performance in the near term. A lawmaker has criticized the Securities and Futures Commission for its passive approach towards the virtual asset platform Huanax. After the JPEX scandal, Huonex became the latest cryptocurrency trading platform suspected of fraud, with 131 people saying they had lost almost $120 million. Early this month, the Securities and Futures Commission, or SFC, labeled the platform as suspicious and put it on an alert list. Lawmaker Doreen Kong slammed the regulator for failing to act quickly. She said stronger actions should have been taken against Huonex, including blocking the platform immediately after finding it suspicious. Local travel agency EGL Tours said it has found multiple fake Facebook pages allegedly used for scamming people. The travel agency said the fake pages promote cheap holiday packages. Chairman of the city's travel industry council, Gianna Xu, said 4 or 5 other travel agencies also had to deal with fake Facebook pages. Malware expert Anthony Lai said organizations should list their links on social platforms or websites, allowing people to verify their authenticity. Television Broadcasts Limited has applied to the Communications Authority to change from operating 5 free-to-air channels to 4 channels. The company said in order to offer a better experience to viewers and improve future revenue-generating potential, it plans to merge 2 current channels, J2 and the Finance, Sports and Information channel. The company is also laying off more than 200 staff members. The Communications Authority said it had received the application and is handling the matter according to established procedures. The Sha Tau Kok Frontier closed area on the border with the mainland will further open up to visitors, allowing a daily entry quota of 1,000 people from next year. In an effort to make the application process more convenient, police have launched an online application platform to assist residents. Timothy Lee tells us more.
Starting in June last year, the Sha Tau Kok closed town started its first phase of opening to the public. The second phase is set to start on the 1st of January next year. Under the measure, all of Sha Tau Kok will be open to residents, but entry still requires a prior application. In the past, residents who wish to enter the area could only apply through travel agencies in person, by post, or through fax. In an effort to smoothen the application process, the police have launched an online application platform. The project cost around $20 million. Residents can start submitting applications on Friday by providing their emails and phone numbers on the application platform or by using their IM Smart accounts. Applicants can then choose the date of their visit to the closed area for any day next month. They can apply for a maximum of 12 people at the same time. Applicants are reminded that under the second phase of the opening measure, the closed area has a daily entry quota of 1,000 visitors. At least 700 of them must be part of tour groups, while the rest are reserved for solo visitors. Residents will be notified via email or text if their applications are successful and may download relevant permits via the online platform. Visitors to Sha Tau Kok can now use a new QR code when entering the closed town and are no longer required to show their physical identification documents. The police said the new platform reduced the application time to just 3 days from the previous 4 to 7 days. They also have new features.
During the development of the system, we have adopted various security control, including the web application firewall and intrusion detection system to prevent malicious attack from the cyber world. And also all our data will be stored in the government cloud infrastructure services. So the security we can reassure that will be guaranteed. The second phase will be the September of next year, including sexual conviction record check, low criminal conviction records.
The police noted the platform will expand its features in phases and will include police dog adoption and training facility visitation services in 2025. Timothy Lee, TVB News.
That's the news. Thanks for watching. Pearl Magazine is up shortly. See you then.